Okay, there we go. Okay. All right, so we are here. Is there anybody new in this class? Raise your hands. Oh, Pat. What's up, Pat? How you doing? What's your name?
Good. Actually, my name is Phil. Pat is my tech support.
I bet you're married to your tech support as well.
Yes, we are.
Where are you located, Phil?
New Jersey.
All right. New Jersey. My wife's from New York. You guys are all nuts on that side of the coast, I tell you. Just kidding. Welcome, Phil. Welcome. So we're going to be doing some balance. We're going to be doing some chair exercises. And I'm going to be adding a dance class, I think. Is there anybody interested in dance class? Raise your hands. No one?
No,
no one.
You can't trick me again.
I'm sorry, Janice. I'm sorry. It's just my sense of humor. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Galaxy tab. Hey, what's your name?
Ray.
What's your name?
Ray. R-A-I.
Oh, Ray. Oh, Ray. Oh, you've been here before.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. All right. Okay. Yes. I'm getting that worked out now. So in the next couple of weeks, hopefully sooner than that, we'll get it up and running. I'm going to mute everybody. We're going to get going. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, everyone. Here we go. All right. So I'm going to push back here and get us started. Start with some movement. By the way, I'm wearing my green shirt and donning my green socks. That's because I'm Irish, half Irish. And Al has his green shirt on. Susan has a green shirt on. The luck of the Irish. Up and out and down. So I'm offering 7 classes currently. We'll be adding, hopefully, that dance class. I believe that'll happen Tuesdays at 10:30 a.m. So we've got this class 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I've got Undefeated, the boxing class that I'm running on Thursdays at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time. You guys are welcome to attend any or all or none. No! Big movement, big stretching up and out. So we're not moving quickly right now, so we can concentrate on the big, broad, sweeping pattern of our body. Breathe. We're going to be working on posture. We're going to be working on balance. We're going to be working on strength, flexibility, hand-eye coordination, gross motor, fine motor. There's Lindy. Hello. Bigger. Come on. Sit tall in that chair. Big, tall, neutral spine. For all of our movements, we want to stay in a pain-free range of motion, of course. But we want to be on a constant pursuit of being able to control every aspect of our movement. We want to get into control of locations of the body that are just a little bit trickier for us to get in touch with. 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. And let's go ahead and reach down over here to the right and toss the leaves up to the left, up and across. I came up with a new body pattern that I'm going to get to that involves vocalization as well, and we'll do that when we're standing up and working on balance. It's actually, I think, a really good drill for balance as well. 1 more. And now let's reach down to this pile over here of leaves on the left and throw them up across this fence onto our other neighbor's lawn. So, Phil, for this class, we use a towel, 2 hand weights, a small ball about the size of a tennis ball, or it could even be a tennis ball, and some exercise tubing. We don't get to all of that equipment each class, but I like to have it handy. And we've added an emphasis on balance. 2 more. So in addition to the chair exercises, we're going to do, oh my gosh, I got both the Ritters together today in one class. Oh, how awesome. One more here, and then we're going to alternate up and down over here, up and across, and down over here, up and across. So we're going to do 2 segments of balance, and I separate them because I really feel that the way we learn, the way our brain learns and our body learns and our muscles learn, is we do the practice and then we take time off and then we go back to the practice. And in that time off, that rest phase, that rest period, the brain and the body is able to digest the work. So we'll see if we can't come back stronger in the second segment and overall stronger from class to class. 1 more on each side, 1 and 2, and let's dive down into that beautiful, warm turquoise river where there are no dangerous creatures and go for a swim. In the other class, we get chased by crocodiles and bears and cougars and all that other stuff. But this class is gentle. You know, I can't get the crocodile to chase us gently. So we're just going to leave him out of it. Hello, Kelly. Thank you. Keep going up. Big stretch. Thank you, everyone, for coming. This class is getting as big as the other one. Up. 3 more. 1. Breathe. 2. Thrust those arms up. And 3. And down. Let's go ahead and rest our arms as if they were sliding across the surface of this beautiful river. And lean out to the side. And as you lean to the side, kick your leg out to create a counterweight. So you can, Susan, good lean. I like it when we have more than one Susan because I can compliment people with more than one person with Good. Really connect to that weight of the leg. See if you can feel the mass of this leg allowing you to get out over the edge of the chair, trying to keep your arms parallel to the ground. So I'm reading Sanjay Gupta's book, which I really like. It's about brain health. And one of the things he talks about is the dynamic component of exercise and how it actually can help you build new brain cells through exercise. Let's push it out here and hold it here. You know, I talk about the value of coming to these classes, or any classes really, not just mine, the value of exercise. You know, it goes beyond just the health benefits. And maybe some of the things that are quietly getting improved in the background without us noticing it are maybe equally, if not more important. The sense of fulfillment that we get, the sense of empowerment, where we become proactive in the management of our health and the management of our disease through exercise. That emotional component is really important. The component of the interaction that we have together. Humans need socialization. We need exchanges of thoughts and ideas and words. So you are all to be commended, as I often say that I don't say enough. You're to be commended. You're a member of an elite group of folks that are convinced that exercise can help. And there are a lot of folks out there, let's go into the no money stretch for a moment, that aren't doing what you guys are doing. So good for you guys. Awesome. Let's gently turn our head, holding that no money stretch all the way to the right. Press out against that and lean that, and then bring it back across to the left. And back to forward and tilt your right ear to your right shoulder. Continue to breathe. and come up through center, left ear, left shoulder. And up to center. One more time, turn the head to the right. And back to the left. Breathe and back to center. Go ahead and return your hands to your legs there. Tilt your right shoulder. And left ear, left shoulder. And right back up to center. And let's do a little self-check. Move yourself around in the chair. And we got two buds here. Bud in the red shirt, I think it's red. I want to call you out. You look straighter than I've seen you. You look really straight. Right up and down. Your posture looks like it's really getting nice there. Big breath in. And exhale. And your other bud, you're doing good too. Just want to leave. Again, big breath in. And exhale. So we're going to do a chair version of the new drill that we're going to do standing. So what we're going to have us do here is we're going to move, not fast really, but I want you to move forcefully. I talk about how we move with understanding, specificity, and intention. We understand what is being requested of us. We're going to try to perform it as correctly or specifically as possible with intention or awareness. In other words, we're going to move with deliberation. We're not just mindlessly moving from point A to point B. So we'll be doing this standing, but in this move, we're going to pair, pair vocalization to the move. There's a word I'm thinking of, I can't remember right now. And the vocalization is going to be ho. Ho. So as you thrust out, ho. Good. Ho. Ho. And really exhale. And see if you can feel the resonance in the chest. Ho. This is good for breath as well. Ho. Ho. And ho. One more. Ho. And ho. The next one is going to be ha. And I'm going to have you just raise your right leg and then the left leg, thrusting the arm up in the air as if you were taking a round cocktail tray and throwing it up as high as you can. So a nice flexed wrist with ha. 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 And again, ha. Make some noise. Ha. I want you to listen to the room that you're in. You should be able to hear off the walls a little bit of an echo or resonance from your voice. Ha. Ha. Call your attention to that resonance. Ha. And build on it. Ha. Make it bigger. Ha. 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 Big breath in. Ha. Ha. Two more. Ha. One more. Ha. Okay. So you probably can guess what comes next. We're going to put them in series. Ho, ho, ha, ha. Don't get your ha's in with your ho's. Okay, so it's going to be ho, ho, ha, ha, ho, ho, ha, ha. Let's pick it up to speed. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ho, ho, ha, ha, and one more. Ho, ho, ha, ha. Okay, good job. Grab a sip of water. We're going to come back to that. We're going to do that standing in the balance sequence. And believe it or not, coordinating that move standing is actually, I think, easier. It was actually, I have never done this in the chair before. I just adapted the standing one to here. And I found myself kind of messing up a little bit. Let's go to our towel. One with balance, you really got to talk about posture too. There's no point in working balance unless you know posture. And so we did posture week a while ago, so I'll kind of go over some of the components of it. And so Phil, since you're new, I typically throw a posture week in every month or so because it's so important. But I talk a lot, so I'm going to grab my towel and I put my hands a little wider shoulder width. I'm going to bring it back to the chest here to what I call ground zero. We want to learn to access areas of the body that for us as humans are a little bit difficult to kind of get into contact with or access. And one of them is the area directly behind you between your shoulder blades. And that's the area I call ground zero. That is the location of your body, which I would position is the most important location of your body if you have Parkinson's. I've never really heard that discussed by anyone. I did a little research trying to find, what some of the other practitioners think about, important areas. If you guys come across something, let me know. I'd love to hear it because I'd like to know what the other, kind of theories are. But my concept is if we're able to access that ground zero and reference from that ground zero position to our world, we're going to be better poised to maintain good posture and to maintain our balance. There's no point in practicing balance if you're not in a good posture position. I guess that's a little bit critical. Maybe there is a point. I mean, you get some of it, but it's much more valuable if you're working balance from a nice posture position, because that's hopefully where you're going to be intended to be for a large part of your day. So being able to respond from that anatomical position to a balance challenge or an event where you might lose your balance, I think is more useful if we can do it from that position. Keep the air flowing. One more, up and down and forward and back. And let's pause just for a second to look at what we've just established and created. Pull the towel apart and bend the towel. It's like you're bending a piece of steel here. And you'll feel the muscles behind your shoulders there activate. Those are your lats. We're trying to get a little more deep into this shoulder blade, between the shoulder blades. So try to imagine pulling your shoulder blades together and down, then drop the towel and lower your hands to your legs here. And just glance down and see how that big, powerful position of that chest, nice and broad and strong and open. Big breath in and exhale. Let's go ahead and bring the towel up to ground zero one more time. And this time, let's press out to the side and pull on back, and out to the side and pull on back. And we aren't meant to be in that ground zero position engagement, 100% of the time. Just when it's appropriate, when we're sitting at the table for dinner, when we're sitting at the coffee shop with our friends, knowing how to position that upper body, when we're sitting at our desk in front of our computer. Just making that a habit. And so as we stretch up, you can feel your shoulder blades kind of wing out here as you extend your arms up. That's good. That's natural. Sliding across the back and widening up towards the sides there. So the shoulder is a complex joint. It's got 4 articulations, 4 joints that are involved with the way our arms move. Breathe, really stretch it out there. So it's complex, and it's real important because it has a lot to do with our core and our posture. And let's go one more on this side, and let's press up to the right, and let's hold it out there. Press it out and hold it, hold it. Breathe. Don't hold your breath, just hold your position. And then pull it back down and press out to the side and hold. And bring it on back and press it out and hold. This is great for the core. Bring it back. And the neck muscles as well. All our heads, they weigh on an average around 8 pounds. So when you lean out over the side, your neck's having to do quite a bit of work to hold that head up. One more on each side. And bring it back, and one more over here. We haven't even gotten to a weight yet. That's great. And bring it back. Pull it apart, drop it, and take one more Listen to the feeling. Feel, sense how it feels to be in this position. Okay. We're going to get right up out of the chair. We're going to do some balance. We've kind of spilled into almost halfway through class, so I didn't set my tail up. Go ahead and grab a sip of water and then get up out of the chair. And if you have balance issues, obviously make sure you go conservatively, or you have an object that you can grab in case you lose your balance. And what is balance? What is it? We talk about it all the time, but I think it's better. We're better suited to understand and work on it if we can define it. Balance is your ability to control your posture, either a standing or seated position, to be in control of your posture. So if I'm sitting here talking to you, I'm executing balance. You guys are all executing balance. So that's actually practicing balance. In order to practice balance, we have to put ourselves in positions where we get these little adjustments, these little programming events that are going to improve balance. So through this phase of the class here, I'm going to be putting our feet in positions that are a little bit awkward. So make sure that you are conservative. We just want a couple of those little kind of adjustments to occur through the class so we can get the balance fired up. So the ha-ha-ho-ho. You wouldn't think this is particularly a balance exercise, but actually it is. And the way we're going to do it standing is we're going to lead with the right leg, and we're going to push our hands straight out, like stop in the name of love, and bring it back to a standing position, and we're going to step out the other way. So we're moving, and we're thrusting our arm forward. In other words, balance is movement, repeated movement. That's the way you improve balance, right? Or one way. Single leg balance is also, like if I'm standing here and balancing like this, I'm practicing balance. But I'm going to do a lot of balance practicing where there's movement involved. So the balance part of it is you controlling the pattern with control, executing the pattern with control. So we're going to, like I said, we're going to match this up or link up with some vocalization. So it's going to be ho, 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 and really drop down, ho, ho, and see if you can connect the vocalization to the thrust of the arm and the landing of the foot. Ho, 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 again, ho, ho, big move, step out, ho, larger, ho, like you're a superhero, ho, giving your superpowers, ho, ho, and ho, okay, ho, and now the ha phase is going to be your right leg stepping forward, and you're going to thrust like you had a cocktail tray, and you're throwing it up into the ceiling, ha, 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 ha. Really get it up there. Turn the body. Ha. Big breath. Ha. 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 Two more. Ha. Ha. And I'll bet you know what's going to come next. We're going to combine them and put them together. We're going to put our ho's with our ha's. So we're step out to the side. Ho. Ho. Now ha. 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 Ho. Ho. Ha. Ha. Keep it going. Ho. Turn. Ho. Ha. Ha. Ho. Ho. Ha. Ha. Okay, we're going to continue with this because I noticed a little nuance to this, and I talked about nuances in the other class. Little nuances of movements or patterns that are actually the gems and the jewels or the really high powerful things that you can, just little important things that you can adjust and incorporate into it that make the whole thing make a little more sense and have a little more value. And that is going to be the concept of having the thrusting arm, once it's up there, pull out the other arm. So in other words, if one controlled the other, as I pull down, I'm pulling the opposite arm up. So now I've got both arms, both phases and arms involved with the movement. And let's see if we can kind of feel that as we put this into a sequence. So we'll do the ho, ho, ha, ha. Are you ready to go? All right, here we go. So remember, the opposite arm is going to pull the raising arm is going to pull the other one up. Just kind of embrace that concept. Here we go. And ho, ho, and ha, ha, ho, ho, ha, ha, ho, ho, ha, ha, and one more. Ho, ho, ha, ha. Okay, march in place. So I hope you like that one because I really like it. We're going to be doing it. Unless you don't like it. I think you will. Anyway, all right, so we're going to continue with the balance stuff that we've done. Go ahead and grab your ball. And we're going to do the little tossing back and forth. And actually, as I've been developing these routines, I think that there are times where the ball toss is not necessary. And that's going to be when we're on the edge of the heel. So I'm going to give you the option of pausing the ball toss and just concentrating on the edge of the heel drill. And if you're new, you'll see what I mean shortly. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with our feet hip width apart beneath the hips here, feet flat. And we're just going to start with a real basic activity here of tossing the ball with our feet in an unchallenging position, tossing it back and forth. And as we're doing this, feel the floor beneath your feet. Go ahead and wriggle your toes a little bit. Feel the soles of your feet on the floor and feel how in control you feel right now, how balanced you feel. And we're going to return to this to see if we don't feel a little more towards the end of the drill here. All right, so we've got this. We're going to come up on our tiptoes and try to balance on your tiptoes there. And as you're balancing, toss the ball. Breathe. Ooh. And here you'll encounter those little adjustments. They'll become more acute, right? Those little quivers of adjustments of your body trying to maintain the balance. Stay up on those tiptoes. If you kind of got to put down your heel and then come back up, that's fine. Even if you're only getting a second up on your tiptoes, that's fine. Just keep going after it. And that duration will increase as we go through this. All right, feet flat. Here's the next one. We're going to lift the toes off. And this is where you don't need to toss the ball. I want you to balance on the edge of your heel. And I do want you picking your feet up and moving them around. Even if you don't feel like you need to keep your balance, I want this balance and flow. What this does, by lifting our toes and just using the edge of the heel, is it takes the whole ankle out of the equation. We're not able to have use of the ankle for balance. So all of the control, or most of it, is coming from the hips. All of this balance really is hip. A little knee, but not much. Good. And let's go ahead and put your feet flat again and toss the ball and see how you feel. If you don't feel like the sole of the foot has a little more control of the floor there. Okay. Big step forward with the right leg. And we're going to do this in a walk position. And put a little bend in the knee and the hip here. Feet are hip width apart. Feet are pointed straight ahead. In other words, my back one's not pointed off that way. Correct it if it is. And I'm going to put a little bend in the knee and the hip. Make yourself like a ½ inch shorter so we get some equity in those joints for adjustment. And we're going to toss it. Pretty easy. Now we're going to come up on our tiptoes and toss it. Breathing. This is a little more challenging, right? You're getting all these whoa moments. Maybe that's a good name for those. We're going to have some whoa moments. Those whoa moments are where the training and the improvement occurs. That's where the programming is, the programming event. Okay, feet flat. Now for this one, you don't need to toss the ball, but I want you to try to keep your 1 foot forward and balance on the edge of your heel. So keep both heels off the ground. It's going to be hard on that back leg. We don't, because your back ankle's already flexed because it's kind of behind you and you don't have a whole bunch of lift range of motion in the ankle joint. We're just moving around. If you want to, you can kind of throw the ball if you feel like you got it a little bit. And step, step, step on the edge of the heel. Okay, that's it. Put your foot flat. Now step forward with the left leg. And again, hip width apart. So we have a fair amount of width there. And just as long as your heel is past your back toe, that's far enough. And let's go ahead and toss the ball with our feet flat. No problem, right? Okay, up on your tiptoes. Woo. You know, I talk a lot about finding ways throughout the day to make use of your time, right? You're in the grocery store and you're waiting for your turn to go up to the register and you're in line with everybody 6 feet apart. You got that great stability item, the cart right in front of you. Do this. Find little moments throughout the day where you can work on stuff. Make it into a game. Sorry, that's my alarm telling me to do something. Everybody in this house tells me to do something, including my computers. Okay, feet flat. Stop the throw, lift the toes, and just balance on the edge of the heel with your left foot in front of your right. Breathe. Good, good. It's awkward, I know. It's like hard to get those toes off the ground. Just stick with it. You'll get it. It's a skill-based exercise to really challenge the hips. You got to be able to lift your toes like that. You'll get used to it and you'll get control of that joint a little better. Okay, feet flat. And let's just go ahead and put our feet side by side and see if we don't perceive a little more stability so far in just this short little bout here. Breathe. Okay, I'm going to end this balance sequence because I want to put some space between it, and then we're going to come back and do a couple other things. So let's go back to the chair, and let's go ahead and grab our hand weights. How do you like that? I talked about how posture was important to balance, and then I ran us through that, and I didn't talk about it once. I'm terrible. Yeah, grab a sip of water. Good job. Good idea, Mike. Uh-oh. Oh, okay, hang on. Hang on a second. You guys went away. I got to go back to you. There we are. Okay. Sit nice and tall in the chair. Recall the clavicle wrap. Tilt that up. These are little cues that I like to repeat and return to for you. So when you're not with me and you think of it, oh, I just remember to raise my clavicle. I don't even need to tap it because I know how to go there in my mind's eye, right? Yeah, right there. That's right. A little higher there, Al. When I'm doing it, I'm hitting this bone right there. Not down here, up here. So that's me a physiological sense of what I want to tilt up. Hands back. And we'll start with our basic bicep curl. Sitting nice and tall in the chair. And probably the easiest strength training program, the easiest exercise for a human to perform would be the bicep curl. I really think so. It's simple. It's in front. We can see the hands move. It's a hinged joint. The elbow joint is doing what it can do, right? There's not a lot of other stuff we do, like the shoulder can go all different places. So it makes it a really good exercise to do and think about the brain-body connection, in this case, to the bicep, feeling the bicep contract and then feeling the bicep relax. The bicep is doing the moving both up and down. I've heard some people think that the tricep is lowering it. It's not. It's the bicep, up and down. And so it's a simple move, and it's easy for us to kind of access that bicep in terms of control, right? We're going to do my new favorite single arm shoulder press. I got to come up with a name for it. What we're going to do is going to get that bicep curl up and hold it there. We're going to be pressing our hand up overhead, and we'll stay with one side. We'll repeat one side. As we press it up, I'm going to have you extend your leg out to give you some counterbalance so you can actually get that lean out over the side of the chair and post this hand up over the shoulder. It's an odd one, I'll give you that. And it might take a couple of classes if you're new to it to kind of get it. But there's a lot of value to this move, especially if you turn your head and look up. to see the weight over the shoulder. That visual feedback is quietly going about addressing the full body's positioning and proprioception. It's a really great one. It's a little component from a old school Greco-Roman times kettlebell move called the Turkish Getup, which is a movement you do with a kettlebell lying on your back on the ground, going into a standing position with the kettlebell posted up overhead, and then going back down to the ground. People can do this. I mean, it's an incredibly technique-based move. I'll show it to you guys if you ever want to see it. But it's pretty crazy. It took me about 6 weeks to learn it. One more up here and bring it back down. And now let's go ahead to the left side, post it up, and really get that lean, get that sense of keeping your shoulder and your body under the weight. And there's rotation. You see how I'm kind of rotating a little bit to the side here? And I'm looking up. You don't have, all is required is to see the hand in your field of vision. In other words, you can lock your eye on the hand, but you're still going to get value if you just tilt your head and see that up there in the field of vision. Let's do 2 more. And 1 more. And we're going to, I just started alternating this because I kind of gave this to you last week or the week before last. And I think now a lot of you have the coordination to be able to alternate it. So we're going to press it up. We're going to take it slow, post up underneath it, get that leg out to the side and back, and post it up and back. Breathe. Good. So if you've got the hand and the arm motion down, call your attention to the leg. Get it out there straight. However you want, I'm kind of resting the edge of my shoe on the ground. However it makes sense for you, it's fine, just get it out there. And we'll do 1 more on each side. And back to the bicep curl just for a moment to get that mind-body connection back to the bicep. Breathe. Up and down. 1 more. Up and down. Okay. Put the hand weights down. Grab a sip of water. And we'll go to the ball. So if you don't have a ball, you can use a rolled up pair of socks for today, but get yourself a ball. And I'm going to remind you of the really high return on this simple little activity of tossing the ball, playing with it. It's potent. It's just a simple activity. Keep the ball handy, and when you think of it, begin to play with it. You're on the phone, you got your earbuds in, you're tossing the ball, because you're tossing the ball. It's good. It's good to toss the ball. Toss the ball. Okay. Raise the right hand up, raise the left leg back, lift that left leg up, drop them and switch. So we're just going to do our little drill here. Only do it for a little bit here. That requires the brain to send movement signals to our reciprocal limbs, which is the way we walk. Parkinson's can make things we learn to do without being taught difficult, like rolling over in bed, like getting out of a chair, like getting into a chair, like putting on a coat, like walking. So in this class, we break a lot of these seemingly mundane or easy to perform exercises, or should be easy to perform, and we practice them. And out of the other end comes exercise. All right, Ball in the right hand, throwing motion. Lift the left leg, switch it up, throwing motion, other leg. So I'm throwing with the right hand. I'm lifting my left leg at the same moment, handing it off to the other side, and doing the opposite. And so now we're actually moving our reciprocal limbs. Armin, that's wrong. Reverse it. There you go. Oh, yeah. All the way from the States out to the UK. Armin's in the UK. We got people from all over. It's so fun. Canada, UK, New Jersey. And one more. Now let's reach out to the side and kick the leg out and get that lean on. Reach out and lean. Stretch out there. See if you can recall the way it felt as we leaned out over the side of the chair when we let our arms slide across the surface of the water, right? See if you can recall that feeling just for a moment as you're out there. One more on each side. We got to get to the other balance sequence. Put it between both hands. Up and down and forward and back is the third move. If you want to add a little nuance to this, a little gem, take the ball between both hands and press it, your arms firmly together as you wiggle the ball around in your palm there. Add a little arm coordination to it. And I want you all to look at the screen and notice how incredibly color coordinated I am today. My shirt, my ball, and my socks. Give it up. Okay, let's put it in series, as I always do. This is where the brain, the neuroplasticity, the control, the thinking part of it comes in. We threw forward.